Good morning, Notre Dame, and welcome back to ND Sunrise. My name is Allie Licygiewicz.
And I'm Emily Walker. It was a busy week for the Irish, including the student body president election. Those results and more on today's episode. Welcome back.
On Wednesday, with 54.29% of the vote, Elijah Jones and Riley Evers were elected as student body president and vice president. Over 34% of the student body participated in this year's election, a 16% increase from last year's 18%. Only 159 voters chose to abstain this year.
In other news, the University of Notre Dame is once again celebrating its 12th consecutive year being named a top producer of Fulbright students. Fulbright is a program designed to recognize academic excellence and leadership while fostering global engagement and public service. 22 students have earned prestigious scholarships to study, teach, or research abroad. These Fulbright scholars will now head abroad to teach, study, or conduct research representing both the university and the U.S. government on the global stage.
The newest women's dorm, Grosjean, officially has a mascot name. After deciding between the Penguins, Ducks, Grosjean Gold, and Jaguars, current Howard residents who will be moving to Grosjean alongside new female transfer students will be known as the Grosjean Penguins. A proposed hall-wide field trip to Shedd Aquarium in Chicago to visit the Penguins will replace Howard's trip to Lake Michigan to see the Ducks. The new mascot represents the strength to overcome finals and, at times, the harsh winters of Notre Dame.
Speaking of harsh winters, an unexpected surprise turned up on North Quad after our last snowfall. Allie, did you attend the Igloo Mass this Monday?
Unfortunately, no. I don't think my Texas blood could handle this cold.
Understandable. Well, luckily, Kira was able to brave the cold and give us a first-hand look on this heartwarming experience.
It is Kira Halfman from NDTV, and we are live from the St. Olaf Ice Chapel. It is currently 9:45, 20 degrees outside, and still students are showing up by the dozens for a once-in-a-lifetime experience. A Coyle Hall sophomore's simple quest to build an igloo on Notre Dame's North Quad became an opportunity for over 2,000 tri-campus members to share a profound religious experience. I sat down with Father Pete McCormick, who preached at the Mass, to learn more.
Here's the takeaway. 2,000 people were at Mass this past Monday night, praising Jesus, giving thanks, supporting one another.
Complete with stained glass and a detailed crucifix, the Ice Chapel quickly gained significant attention from the student body and beyond.
I received an email on Thursday before the Mass, and it was one of those like, hey, crazy idea. That's what it led with. So I thought to myself, well, I'm interested.
Following approval from the Fort Wayne Diocese, everything fell into place for Mass to be celebrated in the chapel. Choir members volunteered their voices. Final details in the chapel were completed. Father Nate Wills, Father Greg Hake, and Father Pete McCormick began planning for a Mass that was nothing short of unexpected, yet entirely welcome. The expectations that were set were far exceeded.
It's beautiful. I mean, 2,000 students. I remember a note being shared at Mass saying that they only planned for 1,600 hosts. I mean, what was it like realizing that you guys had ran out of hosts?
So I was trying my darndest not to run out.
Yeah.
So, you go to the Basilica for Mass and there's like clear lines, like this way, that way. You just kind of get surrounded by a mob of people. But eventually a line did start. And I was looking down in the ciborium and I was looking around thinking, I do not have enough for all of the people here. So I started first breaking in half. I started handing out half of the Eucharist to each person. And I thought, this will do it. And then as I continued to see the line just grow and grow and grow, I said, no, half isn't going to work. I'm going to quarters. So then I'm breaking into quarters. And I look at the line, and the line's still long. So at that point, I have probably maybe 15 consecrated hosts left. So I start breaking into quarters, and then where possible, I start breaking even quarters into smaller pieces. At one point, there was a young man who came up, and I had the smallest morsel. And I said, this is really small. And so he put his hand out like this, and I said, body of Christ. And I placed it right there, and he very gently picked it up, put it into his mouth. It was really quite beautiful that God provides in generous ways. And that little small piece of the Eucharist is just as much Jesus as anything bigger.
To close his homily, Father Pete invited the congregation to join him in singing Notre Dame, Our Mother, a tradition that is far too familiar at Notre Dame sporting events, now made its way onto North Quad.
What I love about the Tri-Campus is that we are a group of people who love one another, support one another, show up for one another, and all that's rooted in our faith. And so as people stood there together in the middle of a snow pile, I might add, people were just so beautiful, and it reminded me of like what we're capable of. So often, we talk about kind of what divides us and the differences that we have, but that moment, for that little precious 75 minutes, we were reminded of what we're capable of. And my great hope, as people dispersed back to their dorms or wherever they were going to lay their head that night, is that we're thinking about how can we replicate that type of community, not only here in the Tri-Campus community, but wherever we go, because it is possible.
More than a single winter evening, the Mass served as a reminder of faith and tradition in the heart of campus. From Notre Dame Television, I'm Kira Halfman.
Thanks, Kira. While there are many events going on around campus, Super Bowl 60 is coming up. Payton and Paul Stevenson on this week's episode of Leprechauns on the Lawn went around asking people what was their favorite Super Bowl halftime show.
Hey guys, it's Paul Stevenson.
And I'm Payton Dymek, and we're coming to you live from Duncan Student Center, where we are hosting our segment of Leprechauns on the Lawn.
Now, with Super Bowl Sunday approaching rapidly, there is a lot of buzz in the air about the action on the field and what's going to happen. But if you ask me, the real action happens at halftime. We know it. We love it. Super Bowl halftime show has given us some of the biggest moments in pop culture history. So the real question on my mind today is, what is Notre Dame students' favorite show? Let's go find out. All right, who am I here with?
Grant.
Maria.
Okay, with Super Bowl Sunday coming up this Sunday, we want to know, what's your favorite Super Bowl halftime show in the history of the Super Bowl?
I'd have to say Katy Perry.
Mine's definitely Shakira and J-Lo.
Agreed.
Who am I here with today?
I'm Sasha.
I'm Gabby.
And what are your guys' favorite halftime shows?
I loved Rihanna's show.
I really like Shakira's show.
All right, who am I speaking here with?
Nikita Phillip.
And Nikita, tell me, what is your favorite Super Bowl halftime show?
I really liked Beyonce and Bruno Mars, just great two people, and they were amazing. Obviously, great music. So, yeah, that's probably my favorite.
We love a little Beyonce.
We're in front of Martin Market Eatery, and I'm here today with
Elliot Brown.
And what's your favorite halftime show, and do you think Bad Bunny could be better?
I'd probably go Rihanna, and yeah, no way Bad Bunny is touching her performance.
I agree.
Coming to you from Midfield Commons, let's check out this crew I'm here with. What are your names?
Britton, Katie, Riley.
All right, so question on the street today is, what was the best Super Bowl halftime show, and will Bad Bunnies be better?
I'd say Katy Perry, and I don't think his will be better.
I mean, I'm also going to have to say Katy Perry, but, like, honorable mention Bruno Mars. And Bad Bunny, I don't think he can top. I just don't think he can top that Lion.
Also Katy Perry. I like when she was on, I remember if it was a horse or a lion that she rode. I really liked that. And no, Bad Bunny won't be better.
And who am I here with today?
Grace.
And Sadie. And I'm curious to know, what are your guys' favorite halftime shows, and are they going to be better than Bad Bunny's?
I think my favorite would have to be Bruno Mars, and I don't think so, actually. I'm excited for Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
I also liked Bruno Mars because of the drums, but I love Bad Bunny also, so I think he'll do a really good job.
Thank you, guys. Now, Paul, what was your favorite halftime show, and do you think it'll be better than Bad Bunny's?
J-Lo and Shakira, by far, and it's going to be difficult to beat. What about yours?
I mean, I loved Kendrick and SZA last year. That was amazing and such a cultural reset.
All right, folks, that's all we got for today's episode of Leprechauns on the Lawn. Will Bad Bunny be able to top any of our fan favorites? We'll find out Sunday. Passing it back to the studio.
Although Punxsutawney Phil predicted 6 more weeks of winter after seeing his shadow, let's see what Aiden Flynn has to say about the forecast.
Thanks, Emily. Hello, everyone. My name is Aiden Flynn, and we got 6 more weeks of winter, according to the one and only Punxsutawney Phil. What better way to kick this long winter off than covering this weekend's weather forecast? Let's start with today. There's an 80% chance of snow, so to put it simply, wear a coat. It's going to be snowing cats and dogs out there. Along with that, there's going to be a low of 15 degrees and a high of 34 degrees between 1 and 2 p.m. Moving on to Saturday, skies are going to be cloudy and temperatures are going to drop. We'll see a high of 22 degrees, and as we can see, Sunday does not look too much different. It'll be a bit warmer, a high of 26 and a low of only 16. This might seem frigid, but for the temperatures we've been getting here in South Bend, Indiana, we might as well consider it a heat wave. We got to stay strong through these 6 more weeks. Sending it back to the desk.
Thanks, Aiden. And here are our upcoming events.
This Saturday in Danke Ballroom from 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. is Notre Dame's annual Catholic Speaker Series featuring Immaculée Licygiewicz. Licygiewicz is a survivor of the Rwandan Holocaust and motivational speaker. She will be presenting Delivered from the Depths, Hope and Forgiveness in a Broken World. Be sure to arrive early as the first 100 attendees will receive copies of her autobiography, Left to Tell, Discovering God Amidst the Rwandan Holocaust.
The 2026 Winter Olympics officially kick off today in Italy. While the world watches the opening ceremony in Milan, South Bend will be cheering on our former Irish track star, Jaden O'Brien. O'Brien made the transition to the ice just 6 months ago. She is now in Italy as a push athlete for Team USA's bobsled team. You can catch the opening ceremony coverage starting at 2 p.m. on NBC. Jaden's competition heats begin on February 17th.
On Friday, February 13th at 9 p.m., the class of 2029 will host a masquerade-themed formal in Steppen Center. A photo booth, Chick-fil-A, and Pizza Hut will be available for all who attend. Tickets cost $15 and are on a first-come, first-served basis. The tickets are only available to Notre Dame freshmen, so make sure to buy your tickets now.
And that's all we have for today's episode of ND Sunrise.
Thanks for tuning in, and from all of us here at the studio, have an amazing rest of your day, and go Irish.